Grand Rising Powerful Beings. Today I'm going to be talking about how to build constructive habits. It's the new year, so you got new goals. I said, listen, you have the place you want to go to. You want to know how to get there. You got the how to get there and the reason why you're working on it. But then there's the habits that helps you get there. The steps that you take is the habits. So think about it. Every day there's a specific walk throughout the walk of life. Every step you took is based on the habits you have. So I'm going to be talking about building constructive habits because the habits you build are also building you. Okay? The habits you build are also building you. So what do I mean by that? Habits you build are also building you. So basically, it's really, our lives is dictated upon our habits. What we do consistently over time, what we're cued to do, the routine of doing it, and the reward we get from doing it. That's what keeps a habit going. What's up? What's up, squad? I see the tribe here. What's up, Janelle? What's up, Karis? So it's it's basically a cue, a routine, and a reward. So every single day, something cues you to get up and do something. And then you have a routine about doing it, and then you usually either just some sort of reward at the end of it, and sometimes it's just you're fulfilling an obligation. Sometimes you're doing a subconscious thing. So a habit is the basis of a cue, routine, reward. So to build constructive one is to cue certain things into your life, have a routine of implementing that, and then you will get the reward over time. So this is how you change your life, right? You basically create habits that's going to build you. So one habit that I created that built me was the habit of learning. The more things I learned, the better I was able to see. I could see more in the world. I could see more possibilities. So they say the more you learn, the more you earn. So the more you learn, the more you earn. So I started to build habits of learning, and the more I learned, the more I was being built. The habits you build are also building you. I built a habit of exercising. Since I was a kid, I always loved playing sports, but then I had the habit of exercising, and I realized that the habit of exercises build me both physically and both in discipline. So the more I exercise consistently and go to the gym and challenge myself, it builds something inside of me. And I'm going to talk to you about what they call Keystone Habits and other things. So there's a book called The Power of Habit by Charles Hugg. There's also a book called Atomic Habits. And I'm going to tell you the philosophy behind those books and how to build a habit, right? So basically, the habits you build are also building you. If you do certain things, it's going to cause a ripple effect in your life. So let's say you want to build your business. You actually, starting with your fitness and your health, is actually going to get you in a different routine, which is going to change what you do every day. So they found out there's something called Keystone Habits. They're habits, once you start to do them, it kind of creates a major shift in your life. So actually, exercise is one major one. So if some of you, it's like New Year's resolution, it's a new year, you trying to get on exercise, that's actually one of the best things you can actually do, because it's going to create a new discipline and you challenging yourself, and then you're going to be able to take those and bring it to other things, other areas of your life. So those keystone habits. So some people, when they change their nutrition, it transforms everything for them, because now they're actually being more conscious about their health and their body, and it makes them more mindful. There's a ripple effect, right? Sometimes when you say, I'm going to focus on building a business, that business builds you more than you build the business, right? Because you have to develop certain habits of showing up and helping people and delivering your product or your brand, right? So every single habit that you build is going to build you, right? And according to Charles Hugg from The Power of Habit, he spoke of a cue, a routine, and a reward. So basically, usually something cues you to do something, and then you routinely get in a routine or a subconscious wave, and then you either get rewarded by a hormone, or rewarded by somebody's words, rewarded by a feeling, rewarded monetarily, rewarded in the ego way, and it keeps you almost coming back for, you can say, your fix, or you want to elevate, or you want your dose. It could either be a fix or a dose of medicine. What I mean by that is your habits can either be obsessive, a fix, I need it now, or it can be medicine. I progressively give this to myself to better my life. So one of them is toxic, another one is more balanced. So we want to have habits that are more balanced. The habits we build are also building us, but you don't want the habits you build to have a hold on you. Okay? So you want to build habits where you have a hold on them. Right? You want to build habits that actually help you get your life more in order. So a habit that is obsessive is destructive. A habit that is constructive is not obsessive. A habit that is constructive is usually more manageable. It's usually something that balances you, that brings you at ease. Grand Rising, Queen. So that's a beautiful thing. So you want to have certain habits, you want to build them intentionally. Okay, based on where you want to go. So yesterday I said, what do you want to grow to? Why do you want to grow to that? And how do you plan on getting there? How you plan on getting there is going to be reinforced by your values, but it's going to be enacted upon by what you actually do, the integrity of your values. That's when you integrate what you say and what you do. And this is what gets your thing on the right one. So we build positive habits when we align our philosophy and our actions together. When we allow what we believe in to guide us, and we say, hey, this is where I'm going, and we actually do what we need to do. So that has to do with what? Discipline. That has to do with what? Inspiration. Being in the spirit of doing whatever it is that you got to do each day. So now you're like, how do I structure habits so that way I can implement the stuff that I need to do to get to where I want to go? Goals. How do I structure habits? So you don't want to structure habits, you want to create a life. If you create a life that's not a burdensome, if you create a life that bears fruit, then it's going to almost come into fruition in a balanced and easy way. So you have to integrate it. You don't necessarily enforce it upon you. It's not like once you say, okay, I got to do this, you feel like, when you change from the I got to do that, that's a habit that is more obligatory. But a habit that is empowering is one that I get to do this today. Yes. When you're excited to, or when you're empowered to, even when you don't feel like it, it's a different pull. A lot of people got to do push motivation. Science has discovered this. Push motivation does not work as effective because it burns out. It's a little bit, it goes up, it's a flame, and then it burns out because it's push motivation. You have to keep enforcing energy. But pull motivation, what it is the spirit of you are pulled towards it. So it's almost like you are acting, but every act that you take, there's force that helps you be pulled towards it, right? So it's like God calling you in the distance, and it's like it's pulling you. The more you're working on your mission, you feel like you're pulled. Things work better that way. Most people, they try to push and enforce towards doors they should not be trying to even push toward. But when somebody is pulled towards a way of living, a way of expressing, is way deeper than that. Some people that try to change how they look externally. I want to lose 30, 60, 40 pounds, and you have to push yourself to do it. When if you started to be pulled towards the healthy lifestyle, if you started wanting to pull towards like really like being in one with the values of this is a temple and I want to treasure it, if you was really pulled by like those sense of like, yo, I got somewhere I want to be here for my kids, like when your why is really important, it pulls you, right? So what it does that is like you're readjusted even when you start to go back to your old ways. And it's a beautiful thing because we all need a readjustment. But when we push ourselves, Like, you can push yourself flat on the face, right? Because push motivation, I found out, also comes with tools of guilt, shame, and regret. Those are like, they follow each other. When you have to always push yourself to do something, it's always like, I'm doing it today, I don't really want to do it, like but when you wake up like, I get to go work out and run today, like, I just can't wait for my walk down the trail. Like, I actually get to show up and do something I love and that I'm passionate about today. Like, I get to repair relationships. Like, I actually get to do that. I get to live and breathe. Like, thank you. There's a sense of gratitude when you change your got to get to that creates a sort of constructive habits. Is the philosophy that's important, is the mind frame, the mindset, right? It's a big thing, because how come one man or woman is faced with this challenge and one gets over it and the other is still like in that same loop? Sometimes some people say, hey, look, I got to get stronger to go over the wall. That's why I love what Jim Rohn said. Don't ask for it to be easier. Ask for you to be better. Challenges come for you to elevate and go to the next level. So the more you're challenged, God has found out that pressure creates diamond. In fact, the laws that are implemented within nature are implemented within human nature. All you got to see is the laws of nature. You realize it's all the same laws. So now you have to understand that it's within you to do whatever you're here to do. And a lot of people are actually running away from what they need to run towards. Like, I love what Les Brown says. Sometimes God-ordained opportunities are masked as challenges, or seem like challenges. So it's a God-ordained opportunity. And what it is an opportunity to elevate to the next level, to gravitate, a pull, to go towards, right? And that is more effective. Think about it. There's a lot of butting heads. Everything is going against. So one of the major things that people do when they try to change habits is they try to go against the habits that's destroying them. Which means that I'm trying to stop doing this. And I heard this analogy that when you're formula racing and you're going down really fast, if you are about to crash, you do not want to look at where you're going to crash. You actually want to look like where you want to head towards, so that, because there's a split second, and if you look that way, that's exactly where you're going to head. So the same thing goes in with your habits. Like, you want to create habits that are going to build you, right? They almost like become, the more you focus on building, the more the things that no longer serve are automatically destroyed. Nature does its work when you do your work. Nature does its work when you do your work. What I mean by that is, when you build, some stuff just eradicate and get destroyed. When you elevate, some of the situations that you are down here, you're no longer in them because you're elevating. Like, you're going higher. You're getting closer, more enlightened, closer to the divine. Now, a lot of people are waiting for heaven when they transition, but you experience more of heaven within, which is a state of mind, because the temple is within you, and your entire spirit should praise God. Like, as in, your whole spirit should praise God, because you utilize the tools and talents and abilities very well, that you make yourself proud, because within you is God. So you make God proud, and you add value to the earth. So your path will be blessed by creating those habits. The path of righteousness is a path of habits that serve you and not destroy you. So, and a lot of people say these are sins, and they make it look really bad. But really what it is the word laws have set out that if you do certain things, there are ramifications of those actions. It's like, yeah, you can do that, and you will get the reward. I said there's a cue, there's a routine, and there's a reward. But each reward comes with a consequence or a benefit. So somebody says, hey, I want to make some money. So the cue is, there's money, vanity. Vanity is usually a major cue. the routine says, you know what, I'm not going to create out of my gifts and be abundant and make money. I'm going to take the next man's money. And you know what, I'm not just going to do that. I'm going to take the next man's money and I'm going to shoot the next man. So now what you're doing now is you're getting something at the destructive of somebody else, right? And what that does is this habit destroys you because you're no longer using your gifts to get what you innately have within you already. You're actually taking somebody else's stuff and you're disrespecting God, because God is saying, listen, Cain, like, you know, Cain and Abel is like, yo, come on, dude, like, I gave you all of this, why you gotta, come on, dude, like, what you doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, don't make it make sense. You know, that's really God is saying, like, make it make sense. Like, that's your brother. You know, be like, so a lot of people do it for vanity. Vanity is something that is destructive. You know what I'm saying? So now we want to build constructive habits, not for the sake of being a goody two shoes, but for the sake of honoring the laws that yield abundance. So it's not to say that, yo, I don't lie or steal or cheat or do whatever, just for the sake of, like, your karma on this earth. Like, if nothing else matters, if you don't do it to praise God, if you don't do it to be a good human, if you don't do it to empower others, just do it for your own benefit. Like, righteousness in its own yields rewards that is its own benefit. To walk a path where you do right by others, by your body, and by nature is not something you do for God, as in just like for God. It's something you do for yourself. And that makes God proud. It's like you do that, like, let's say you had like parents and they created you, and you did some stuff for yourself. You did what you needed to do for yourself. Your parents created you. That makes them proud. And because of that, your path is prosperous. Not just because, oh, your parents giving you something, but because the love you experience. Now, guess what you do? You give that to your kids. The gift is usually not things. Vanity is usually what cues people towards routines that destroys them slowly over time, giving them bursts of pseudo pleasure just for a little bit. It's like a little hit. And I said, the more hits you have of vanity cued habits, you stay in a routine that is destructive over time, and you keep having to go back for a fix when you can be innately abundant when you live a certain way and treat your body in a certain way. And what the difference is one of them is like, yo, I want to hack and play like, I want to not go along the rules, and then I'm going to hack the feeling. Here's the thing. Some people, they waste their health to make money, and then they have to use the money to buy back their health, right? When in reality, they could have maintained their health from the beginning. You get what I'm saying? So now, once you do it from the beginning, you actually create something. So now what does it do? There's an energy that you create when you are in alignment with the laws. When you're in alignment with the laws, you manifest in this earth in many different ways. A lot of people only look at their manifestation when they get the thing, right? Because this whole world is vanity. Everything is like, I like King Solomon. He was a very interesting guy. But a lot of times we think manifestation is making money, but manifestation is actually manifesting wellness too. Like, a lot of people don't realize that how you think creates certain frequencies in your mind that creates your well-being. So most people, when they think of, oh, I'm manifesting, they automatically think that's when you make a bunch of money. Like, yo, that's part of it, but we have to start with what really creates wealth. Clarity is one of the more effective tools of wealth creation. A lot of people don't understand that people who create wealth have a sense of clarity of vision, right? They also have an ability to work on something and not quit while working on it, because they also have a pull. They have something pulling them. They have a strong why. and they have a no matter what like character, right? So they're pulled towards it. So you want to be able to be pulled towards it. It's like it's a different thing, right? So this is why you got to build certain habits. So now you want to think about 2022, boom. What are some habits that if I built them, they would actually build me? Like if I built the habit, like for instance, I'm writing my book. If I built the habit of writing let's say a chapter a day, maybe I could do a chapter a day or 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day, that's a habit that over time that's gonna build something. Like what are some habits that if I built that was gonna build me? What are like some things that if I did consistently that would kind of better my relationship? Like one major habit is calling people. Like if I built that habit, how would that build me? Like if I built the habit of constant marketing for my business consistently, what would that build for me? Right? You have to look at the various habits that you build, because at the end of the day, all of those habits are going to come back and they're going to be building you. So now let's go back into how to build constructive habits. So we went through a whole lot of stuff, right? So now you want to just think about it. But if you sequenced those habits, how would it look like? Like if you sequence those habits that you can think of that would really like build you, how would it look like in a routine? Like how would your day look like? How would your weeks look like? How would your month look like? Right? And then you want to be able to visualize that constantly, right? So visualization is very effective in creation of what you see inside. What you see in your mind comes out as you continuously see it. The vision that you hold really strong on and you see it every day, when you're in a peak state of mind, you actually can create it because it's going to be in your mind, and now you're going to do stuff to act on it. So you want to envision it. That's just one way. But you're like, yo, you can envision it all you want, but if you don't got the habits and it don't work. Like, so you don't, I'm visioning how I will do it, how I'm looking like, how my habits are, just like I do this, I'm on point with that, I'm having peaceful moments, I don't react like that, I'm reacting this way, and I'm working on my finances, I'm taking care of this, I got that going, I'm saving, I'm watching my credit, I'm doing all those good stuff. You got all of that set up, but when the time comes for you to do it, you don't do it, it doesn't work. Right? So habits are usually built when you actually do the habits. Right? So you don't just think about the habit, visualize the habit. You got to do the habit. You got to actually follow what you said you were going to do. So the habit is not something that sounds good or looks good. It's something that creates a certain way of you being, and you want to keep doing the habit. So we're going to say this. I'm doing the habit. The habit has to be done, right? You want to implement it in your life and that you get to do it. It can't be like if I have the time to. No. It's I do this thing consistently over time. This is the mentality. And I get to do it. It's not I have to, right? Those are the best habits. So you're like, okay, I got to do the habit. Do the habit. So do the habit. Do the habit. Say that in your head. Do the habit. Do the habit. Do the habit. So it's not just you got to do it. It's an action. It's an action that you do. I'm just saying that a couple of times. So think about a couple of habits. Write them down, right? And if you go back and you watch the previous 2 days, it's in a sequence, or listen to the previous 2 days. The first day I talk about execution on your gifts. The second day I talked about not just your gifts, but setting goals. And today I'm talking about the habits. So everything goes in a formula. So you want to come back and watch Ed Talks daily at 10 a.m. every day if you have some time. Sometimes I do 11. I got other things I'm doing. So yeah, come back or go to the website too and subscribe to the podcast. Okay, so you go to edtalksdaily.com, subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you haven't texted me yet, send me a quick text, and I'll get you on the list. So go to text 561-510-9605. And I'll be able to send you text messages about when I'm going live and podcast episodes, a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the number right there. Just text live or Ed Talks, whatever you want to post, text. And you get added to that. Okay, so you want to go out and build some really amazing habits this year. Be intentional about what you want to create, and it will be created. Be intentional about what you want to create, and it will be created. Be intentional. So intention is everything, because it creates, like, it sets the sail, right? You see vision is important, but then matched by your intention, fueled by your intuition, and guided with your action is just very impactful. Okay, a lot of people have good intentions, but they don't listen to their intuition. They don't back it up by action. You get what I'm saying? And the fusion of it is not correct. So you have to have, when you get that alignment, man, you get on a new route. Like, I intend to do it. Not only I'm intending to do it, I'm actually doing it, but then I'm actually listening on how to do it when everything communicates to me. And the way that intuition is always, I feel like, about the same for people, but it's just about how noisy is your temple. Like, some people are not in temples, they're in clubs. Inside of them is like a club. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I need to get turned up to run away sometimes. That's not all the clubs, but I'm just saying, when I was going to clubs mostly, I just wanted to run away from my life. That's my personal experience. Then I wanted more better, intricate parties. So we want to switch from having that club temple where we can't hear our intuition. It's just a little analogy. And the club temple is when we dilute the spirit being by getting those fixes to feel good and away from the situation, and not really being in tune with the energies, with the vibrations and the nature, right? So the laws of nature also says, if you want to be more intuitive and work, you need to also be more zen. You can say it like that. Or it just means you need to be more in touch with nature and with your breath, with what's going on, right? And the more you're in tune with that, what happens is there's something called the flow state. So now you get in the flow state all of the time whenever you engage in your craft. Like, for instance, I'm in the flow state right now. And every time I do a podcast, I get in the flow state. Now, when I have to do like a speech or whatever, I don't need a speech written. I am the speech. So when more you get in the flow state, you cultivate your art. And then now there's an integration that happens between you, the spirit, and what you're doing. So now that happens is now you have the spirit in you and what you're doing. The spirit in you is now in your craft. So that's why some people, when they're singing, like, they're just, you could feel like and you could feel, it's almost like the whole universe, you feel it in you, right? Because what's happening is this, they're in this flow state. Some basketball players, you see them like, they're going in 60 points. Kobe, like, a bunch of how they doing it? They got in the flow state where it's like they're almost like everything they've put into this point is now integrating. And then, like, while people said, then why didn't you go left on that turn? Be like, man, I just felt that. You know what I'm saying? I just like elevated. They were like, and that's the state that when the more you do that over time, those habits build you, right? The habits you build are also building you. I have a habit of doing a live almost every day. Shout out, I love you, Noah Crane. Peace. I see the tribe in here, man. I see Karis. Shout out to Ross Juba Music. Shout out to Liz in here in the building. We lit. So the habits you build are also building you. So when you build constructive habits, what it do? If you created a habit of doing a live every day and you want to empower more and more people, you do one live every day. What you realize is it's almost like you're stepping in the room and you're not only performing, but you're practicing and you're reinforcing what you've learned and your experiences. So you're taking all that you've learned, you're reinforcing it, you're practicing, and you're sharing, which means you're blessing, you're sharing something. And at the same time, you're building your brand. In addition to, you're building a library of information, insight, and wisdom that can be passed on to the next generation and saved for your kids and your family. That's a deeper thing than, oh, I'm making a live video on social media. Some people look at it like, oh, it's just a video on social media. Other people may see more opportunities within it. But you build one habit, and over time, and you do it a year, you do it 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you'd be surprised what comes out of a simple habit of showing up every day. So a simple habit of showing up every day can build something really big. The process is a journey, but what happens is, all you do is you have to reveal what's in you. The seed is what becomes the fruit-bearing tree. But the seed has to be watered, planted, and nurtured over time, and it has to be in sunlight. A lot of people, they got the seed, they're nurturing it in the dark, but they don't have the photosynthesis that comes from the sun. And that's what we need. What is in the dark has to come to light, but sometimes you have to bring it to light. Because if you don't bring your gift to light, we don't know it. As you try to bring your gift to light, you get in a journey of enlightenment. And you start to tap into it all. And that's into it all, intuition. I came up with that one time when I was doing the podcast. Everything I'll be telling you now is a sum total of everything I've kind of came upon when I got myself in this state. And they built together to build something really, really valuable for me and for other people. So I say intuition is almost like getting into it all. So let's say you want to get into it. You have an intention. So I said that's intention. You want to get into it. You want to do something. Like you have a urge, a desire. But now if you want to get into it, you have to get into it all. And that's when you get into it all that is available. Sometimes you came up with an idea and it's because 20 other people are thinking about that, and there's somehow the frequencies in the air has brought the idea to you. Now some people may not really understand what I mean by that. But what I really mean by that is this. Because this is in the air, it became somehow spreading. Once you put it out, there's an energy about it. You're like, whoa, yeah, that's legit. It's like, or somebody's talking about something and then they're thinking about it, now it comes to your mind. So that means that the more you are able to get into your intuition, it's almost like you're able to tap into things and that's in the air. I call it Godfire. It's like Godfire, okay? It's like Wi-Fi connection to the divine source of all information. Godfire. Wi-Fi connection to the divine source of all information. Godfire. Now, whether you believe in God or not, you can look at that as like a universal bank of every sort of wisdom out there. In some way, somehow, some people just are able to know things. Right? So some of the most genius is like, how did you even know that? Edison said he went to sleep and he primed himself to actually see what's happening while he sleeps, to come up with ideas for his next invention. Or there was a lot of other people who did the same thing, right? So it's almost like once you align yourself a certain way, you can have help to create what you're creating. And that happens through spiritual process, and we can call that the process of getting enlightenment, just like growing. Somebody call that personal development. Right? Those are all different ways you can look at it and call it. So the more you stay throughout that process and you elevate and you innovate, you bring out what's in you consistently, You stretch yourself. You do things that it's not always comfortable, but you do it anyways. What happens is it starts to build you. It starts to create the type of person that does certain things. It starts to create something so amazing that you're like, yo, I didn't even know I had it in me. You ever heard that? I didn't even know I had it in me. So how come a lot of people, including you possibly, are looking for it outside of you when you have it in you? So sometimes you just have to step into that. You know what? I knew I had it in me this whole time. And I know I have it in me. And it's up to me to reveal it. And I'm choosing to reveal it. And I'm going to make the habits. I'm going to walk upon the path with these certain habits that's going to reveal what's in me every day. I'm not going to hide my gifts or abilities, or I'm not going to hide my potential anymore. I'm actually just going to act upon it. And I'm going to make that happen, regardless of what other people think, regardless of what my past way of thinking said. I'm making a determined, deliberate effort that I'm going to change and transform my life, because I have the power to create it. I am a creator. I have the power to create my life. I control my destiny. I am going to build the habits that build me and not destroy me slowly. So I'm gonna drink less. I'm gonna smoke less. I'm gonna not drink at all. I'm gonna not smoke at all. I'm gonna party less and focus more on my work. I'm going to I'm gonna be more disciplined. I'm gonna eat healthier. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna be more loving. I'm gonna be more caring. Respond more with actually feeling and thinking. I'm gonna be more intentional. I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm not going to hide away from what I know I need to do. I'm not going to be delusional and try to hide away. I'm not going to play the blame game towards everybody. I'm actually going to be more mindful. So you have to make deliberate, determined effort and decision to act upon a new way of being, because you know that once you do that, it's going to create the type of person that can do so many great things that you'll just be like, whoa, I am amazed by who I've become. So you have to make this, it has to be determined. So you should be reading books, you should be indulging in wisdom, you should be going to workshops, seminars, classes, you should be getting your hands in anything you can to help you grow and develop. The more you do that, the more you're going to keep growing. And you should be actually, in real life, seeing what's happening within yourself and actually living out life or what you've learned, and not just reading about it. And then the more you do that, something special starts rising out of you, and you'll be surprised what was in you. That's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator, and I want to thank you for tuning in to another Ed Talks Daily Personal Growth and Motivation podcast. Listen, you're going to be surprised, but don't be surprised, because you already know that something amazing is inside of you. You got so many gifts and abilities. Now, you just have to build the habits, and those habits are going to reveal your gifts. You just have to build the habits. Hey, Cassie, what's going on? You build the habits, and the habits are going to reveal your gifts. So the more you build certain things that you say, I do consistently over time, the more those things are going to create the stuff that you want. So a lot of people think that, I need to focus on looking a certain way. No, you need to focus on eating, moving, thinking, and feeling a certain way. And then you will automatically look a certain way. So what do I mean by that? Your emotions often determine what you do, your decisions. Those decisions, those choices, then chooses either to indulge or to be disciplined. It's either to do right by you or to run away from something by doing something, like eating that, doing a toxic habit. And we all go through it, right? This is a human nature, right? So nobody should feel singled out. But the more you can say, hey, I'm going to build habits that's actually going to lead me towards this path that's, man, I feel good about, the better life is going to be. So remember, you have to bring that out there. Put them through your habits. Share your light. Don't hide it. Don't dim it, y'all. And one thing I've been doing every day is we've been rising and priming with the whole community. So we've been rising and priming every day on Zoom. So now a lot of people, I've seen people in the comments, if you've ever been to Rise and Prime, let the people know how it's been transformative. But one of the things is I found out that waking up early transforms your life. But usually I woke up early and try to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then I'm still stuffed. So what I decided was I need to clear myself up before I do anything else. So I found out that by moving, which is mindful movement, like when you do stretches, we do exercise, and I learned something real cool. I'm like a Qigong instructor, Qigong master, which just means I teach you how to cultivate life force energy. So I learned how to do these very interesting moves, and they actually reduce emotions from any tension that you have in your muscle tissues, have stagnated emotional states. And also if you don't breathe a certain way, then you are actually depleting blood oxygen. So I show you how to restore that. So by doing some of those, like the mindful movement, the Qigong classes, what that's going to do is it's going to help you reduce emotion so you have a clear mind. Another thing is personal development. If you positively say, if you listen to inspirational things first thing, what happens is you start to prime yourself a certain way. You start to have certain things that you're doing. So it primes you. So we add that into it. And in addition to that, there's affirmations. That's just really putting out into the universe exactly what it is that you want to create. And then through that, you actually start to create it. So I do this every single day on Zoom. So I'm inviting y'all to tap into that, right? It's called Rise and Prime. And you go to the holisticlifestyletribe.com and you'll be able to tap into that. Or of course, like I said, if you text me, text tribe to this number and you get it. So that's pretty much the podcast. Just want to let y'all know about the tribe and how you could join it. You definitely want to come and just tap into the let me put that to the Zoom call, because it's powerful Zoom call. So you want to sign up for it, and I'll see y'all. And by the way, I forgot to promo this. Yeah, if you support my podcast, go buy yourself some tea. In fact, this works very effectively. I came up with one of the best tea blends out here. It's called the Anxiety. Check it out. Listen, this is called the Anxiety. It's with lemongrass, lemon balm, and vervain. Okay, it's only $8, right? Only $8. Lemon balm, vervain, and lemongrass. So vervain is actually so useful to calm down any shock. In my culture, Haitians, IUCN, if you have a shock, you shocked up, somebody died, something really crazy happened, or like you was stuck in the cold for 24 hours, and you shocked from that, you get the vervain. Man, that's gonna really help calm you down. So if you have anxiety to the max, this will help reduce your anxiety. Now, coupled with lemongrass and lemon balm, these also work with your digestion. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but your digestive system has a lot to do with your mental health. So what I mean by that is your gut health is your mental health. So if this helps with your gut health, it's automatically going to help you have better your serotonin, which actually helps combat depression. So this does not just work for anxiety, but it also helps you with depression. It also helps you when you're going through your period, balancing your mood, blood flow, menstrual cycle. So the vervain tea is on point. It's only $8. Click the link in my bio and you're going to be able to tap in and get these shipped to you. And it's a new product, all organic herbs. So who's gonna buy one of these? All organic herbs straight from my garden. I got these all organic herbs straight from my garden. Guess what? Hand-picked, dried up, packaged up, all in-house, baby. No pesticides in them. It haven't been through no factory. It hasn't been traveled through many countries. I just packed this up like a few days ago. And whenever you get this, go to the link in my bio. I'm just gonna send it to you. Alright, so y'all make sure y'all go get y'all tea, okay? Get your tea bags. And if you're listening on a podcast, because I know other people are listening and they can't really see me, y'all go to the holisticmotivator.com and /store, and you're going to be able to type in, okay? Go to the holisticmotivator.com /online store, or the holisticmotivator.shop, or the holisticmotivator.com, and you're gonna find the store in it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Y'all have a good day. Stay blessed. Stay in your power. And I'm done talking. Peace.